Hey, how's it going, folks? DJ with Rabbit Squirrel Garage, and today I'm going to be restoring this old cleaver. Found it at my grandma's house. She's in her 90s, and I'm assuming this thing looks pretty old. The handle's still good on it, so I'm just gonna have to clean it up. You can see there's a lot of green paint on it for some reason. It is pretty pitted. The blade or the edge is chipped, and it's pretty rusty. So I'm just gonna take it and I'm gonna just kind of bring it back to life, and I'll probably use it too. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start by just using the belt sander on it and try to just get some of the rust off. This is a pretty stiff grade. I'm guessing about 220. I don't remember what grit it is. About 220. But I'm just going to take it and, you know, sand it down. Okay, we've got most of the major rust off of it. That's about all I'm going to do with it for now. What I will do is go ahead and stick this in vinegar. It's a mixture of vinegar and salt, and just let it sit for, I don't know, maybe a day or two, and let it eat the rest of the rust off, and give the blade a nice patina. But what I do want to do is finish off this handle now while I'm sitting here looking at it. And this handle, there's really nothing wrong with it other than it's got green paint on it. So I'm not going to go crazy with it, but I am going to just, you know, shine it up, and because it feels like it's got plenty of oil in the wood, so probably from hands over the years of using it. From what I understand, my great-grandfather was a butcher, and I don't know if this was one of his or not, but it looks pretty old. So if anybody knows who makes it or what it is, go ahead and let me know. So yeah, now I'm just going to work on the handle a little bit. And I'm going to do the same thing, just use the belt sander and go through it. Again, this is just a 220 grit, so it's not going to get real tough. And I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Yeah, so this is how I use my belt sander. It's actually pretty good, but it sits flat just fine, right? So I can turn it on, hit the button that makes it stay on all the time, and then I can just use it. See? I've also seen where people will build a little box for these, and you know, that way it stays in place and you don't have to hold it. For the stuff I do, I'm not pushing down real hard anyway, so I don't need a box for it. And like I said, it lays flat, so you can see flat here, and it sits perfectly. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and, you can see I'm already working on this side of the handle a little bit, and I'm gonna keep going with it, and I'll let you see it when I'm done. Okay, there's what the handle looks like now. Nice and clean. No more paint. No more paint anywhere on the cleaver. So, and it is thin. This is pretty thin. This is a BK16, and it's probably half as thin as it. So I don't know. I don't know what the actual width is, but or thickness, but it's turning out pretty nice already. So I'm going to keep going, and what I'm going to do now is just go ahead and drop this in some vinegar and salt and let it sit for a while. I did want to show you this real quick before I get going. All I'm doing is I'm going to take this old antifreeze bottle and I'm going to cut it off about right there, because that should hold the whole knife in it, minus the handle, which is what I want. Doesn't matter if it gets on the handle, it'll be fine. But yeah, So that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to cut this, then I'm going to fill this with white vinegar and put maybe 3 or 4 tablespoons of salt in there with it. It'll just help activate it and speed the process up a little bit. So, yep, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and cut it right there. And go all the way around. Alright. Okay, there it is. It's in the distilled white vinegar and some salt. You can kind of see a little pile of salt down in there. And it looks like it's already starting to react with the blade a little bit. So we will let that sit for a while. Like I said, sometimes it takes a couple hours, sometimes it takes 12, sometimes it takes 24. Just depends on the steel. So we will, I'll get back to you when I think it's ready. Alright, there it is, all rinsed off, and looks pretty good. I'm not seeing any more rust other than maybe a little bit right up in here, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. So we're going to go ahead and start sanding it down again. And yes, I know I just put a patina on it, but I want to make sure that it looks good also. Some people will say leave it just like that. That's the character of the blade, and I do prescribe to that thought process. However, just because of all the pitting that it has, like here it's deep. That's major pitting right there, and I would just rather have it nice and smooth. The smoother the steel, the less chance to be rust to build up. So I want to try to reduce as much pitting as I can. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'm gonna start fixing the blade or the edge itself. So let's do it. Okay, I think that's about as good as I'm gonna get it. Unless I start going real deep down into the steel. It feels pretty good. Just this section right here is really deep. So I don't know why, but it is. So that's just gonna have to be there. And again, I prescribe to the thought process of this thing's been through a lot. So I'm not trying to make it look new. I'm trying to keep its character but make it usable again. That's it. You know, I even left a little bit of green paint in the handle in spots, because that was part of it when I got it. You know, I didn't want the whole thing splattered, but I left a couple little ones, and they're down in the wood, so I didn't want to dig out into the wood, and I thought, well, I'll just leave them there, you know. So yeah, so I'm going to do that. So now I'm going to go get my circular file and get the inside of this hole, because I forgot about that. So let me go grab that file real quick. Okay, here's my round file. It's pretty old itself. This was my grandpa's. He put the handle on it there. So interesting. These look like little wood beads, and then he put a nail. That's the end of the file there, and then he put a nail in there to kind of hold the handle on. Pretty neat. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just going to go through this hole and get the rust out of the inside of it. I could have taken a drill bit. Also, if you don't have a round file, you can use a drill bit. Just find one that's similar, and just kind of, even not similar, small, and you can just kind of run it around like this, and it'll get it out too. But since I have a file, I'm just going to use that. I'm just gonna sand that down a little bit because I roughed up the edges around the hole. There we go. Alright, now we're going to drop it back in and get that patina going again. So it seems like now it probably only needs about an hour or so to sit in there. So we'll just let it sit for about an hour and we'll be good. Alright, it's been sitting here in this vinegar and salt mix for about a half hour. So I'm just going to take a small steel wire brush and just brush it and see kind of if rust is still coming off, and it is. You can see. So that'll clear it up and help the process along a little bit. So I just want to do the whole thing. I did this before, but I forgot to show it to you. You can see still getting plenty of rust out of it. And again, I'm not too worried about the edge because I'm going to be reprofiling it anyway. It's got a bunch of chips in it. So I'm not looking to make sure the edge is perfect right now. I'm just looking to get the blade itself. Alright, let's let that sit in there a little more. And we'll come check it in a little bit. Okay, so I've let this soak again for about a half an hour. And what I did with this time was I pulled it out and I brushed it off. And a bunch of the rust started coming off. So what I decided I'm going to do is about every 30 minutes I'm going to dip it in there and let it sit for about 30 minutes. Pull it out, brush it off, and then put it back in. And I'm hoping I should be able to get rid of all the rust, all the black spots, and at least make it nice and you know, clean. No big black spots, like I don't know if you can see there, but it's pretty black. It's got some dark spots in there. So I've been doing that and it's been cleaning the blade up really well. So I will continue to do that. This side actually looks almost done. There's a couple little spots here. But this side must have been, I guess, laying on the ground or something. And so it's a lot worse on this side than it is on this side. Anyway, I'm going to keep doing that until I don't see any more black or brown. So that seemed to have worked well. So I'm going to keep doing it. Okay, well, I've been scrubbing it the best I can, and every time I do, I scrub it with that wire brush there. Every time I do, a little bit more comes off, a little more rust comes off. Well, I'm reaching the point where no rust is coming off anymore. So I'm going to go rinse this off with some water, and that is to neutralize the acids in the vinegar. So I'm going to rinse this off, and then we're going to see what we can do to make the blade look a little better. So, okay, I've got it rinsed off again, and I'm kind of liking the way it looks right now. I think we're just going to keep it like that. The problem is the pitting, and it's not just in this area. The pitting, there's several pits throughout the blade that are just way too deep. You know, it's a thin blade to begin with. So I'm gonna just leave it the way it is now, I think. It's already patinaed with the vinegar. So now really it's just a matter of sharpening it up, I guess. And yeah, that's it. I'm just gonna go ahead and sharpen it up and keep it just like that. Again, I subscribe to the theory of this thing is old and it's been through a lot, so I don't really want to lose its character. It's got a lot of character to me, you know. Like I said, that's why I kept there's a little green dot right there from the paint. you know. And there's another one somewhere right there. That's why I'm leaving those there. It's just to, you know, it's part of the blade. So I'm just going to keep it in, and I think that's what it's going to end up being. I think that's what it's going to end up looking like. So let me play with it a little more, and we'll see. Yeah, now I'm just going to go ahead and sharpen the blade on it. Alright, I don't know if you can see, but we're getting a little bit of an edge on it now. And again, the reason I'm using the grinder or the belt sander is because there were a bunch of chips in this blade. There's still one right there. I don't know if you can see it, but there's still one right there. So I'm using the belt sander to kind of get it down to where there are no chips. So that's what I'm doing. It's actually kind of sharp right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my sharpener out, and we'll sharpen this bad boy up, and then I think we'll be done with it. I kind of like the fact that it's oh wait, we still have to do the handle, but we'll get there. Matter of fact, let's do the handle first. Okay, so with the handle, if you notice, there's not really anything wrong with it. It looks good. The brass, it's all nice and sturdy, no cracks, no nothing. I kind of don't want to change it, again, because this is what it is, and you can't tell on camera, obviously, but when you feel this, you feel the oils in the handle. I may put one coat, I'll put one coat of linseed oil on it just to, you know, go over the spots where I sanded it. But other than that, I'm really not going to do much with the handle. Again, I found this in my grandma's house when we were moving her. She's in her 90s. And I just think that this has a lot of history. I almost wonder if it wasn't my great-grandpa's. So, again, he was a butcher. I've got a knife here that I'm also going to restore eventually. And this is a butcher's blade. It's got a bone saw on this side and a blade on this side. And you can see it's rusty too. But I did sand it down a little bit just to kind of get an idea of what it looks like. But I'll be restoring this one also. You can see it's got the brass pins with a center. I don't know what's in the center. Can't tell yet. But yeah, I'm going to be restoring this too. Bringing it back to life. Not that you couldn't use it right now, honestly. I mean, other than that little bit of rust. But other than that, you could use it. But I want it to look good. So, yeah. Anyway, butcher. So I think it looks good. I'm going to go ahead and just wipe it down with, well, I'm going to go ahead and finish sharpening it. And then I'm going to wipe it down with some oil. And I think I'm going to call it. So let me grab my sharpener. Alright, this is the work sharp. It's just the original one. I've had it forever. Matter of fact, I think it's dying. I think I'm going to buy one of the newer ones. The Ken Onion version or something. I don't know. I'm going to look. But this one still works. It's just, you'll hear it in a minute. So I'm going to put the biggest grit on, which is the green one. And then I'll drop to the brown one. And then this is the fine. So we'll start here. Yep, feeling good. Let's jump up to the next one. Oh yeah, we're getting there now. One more with the fine. Which one's better? Let's see. This one. Woo! That seems pretty sharp to me. Woo! There you go. Okay, there it is. I'm going to leave it just like that. Now, what I will do is I'm going to put some vegetable oil on it. Since this is a kitchen tool, I would normally put gun oil on a knife or an axe, but since this is a kitchen tool, I'm going to use some vegetable oil. And what I'll do is I'll let that sit for, I don't know, 2 days. And the reason is that the patina underneath, which is the vinegar and the salt mix, it will have time to really set up and set in and protect this from rust in the future. So even if you wash it again and get that oil off there, now the patina will be set. So let it sit for just a couple days. Don't use it. That goes with any knife that you either do some type of patina, whether it's the cold bluing or what have you. Cold blue it, layer it with oil, and then let it sit for a day or two. I'm going to finish off the handle with just a quick spurt of linseed oil. Boiled linseed oil. You can see here I'm using the Jasco. I've had this for a while. This goes a long way, so you don't need to use a whole lot. As a matter of fact, I've got some. I was using this yesterday, and I've got some already up on the rim. So I will just take it and rub it on there. See? And like I said, this won't need the full treatment. The full treatment would be like on a brand new handle. What is the Wrangle Star had a video where he did something similar, and what he said is a really good idea, and I just did it once a week, but for a month. But what he's saying is you put this on once a day for a week, once a week for a month, and then once a month for a year, and then just every year after that. So that's what I mean, I don't need to do that with this handle because it's already got the oils in it, and I'm guessing most of those oils are, from human contact. So, but yeah, there it is. Now it's got the blade done. It's got the handle. Looks brand new. The handle looks brand new, and it's ready to go. So, alright, I'm going to call it a wrap. If you could, go ahead and like the video, and if you aren't yet, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be doing another one soon. I've got a couple of axes that I'm going to be doing soon. I'll show you one of them right now. Look at that. That is a hewing axe. It's if you notice, it's sharp on this side, but on this side it's just barely sharp. And that's for going down a piece of wood and making boards. So it's a king cutter. It's pretty old, I would assume. I'm going to try to save the handle because it's a nice handle. There's nothing wrong with it, really. Probably just needs some linseed oil, boiled linseed oil. But the head is loose. So I don't know if you can see that, but the head is loose. So I'll probably pull this out, put a new wedge in it, and see if we can't get it to sit on there correctly. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to have to do a whole lot to the blade itself other than maybe sharpen it up. It looks pretty good the way it is. So, but yeah, it's a fun one. So this would probably just be an axe handle video. So, but yeah, it's a good axe. I bought that at a yard sale, and I don't remember how much I paid for it. It was only like 20 bucks maybe. But I'd never owned a hewing axe, so I just thought it'd be cool to have. So, alright, I will catch y'all on the next one.